Well, good morning. It's another Saturday morning, and I want to be the first one to welcome you to another time of coffee, ideas, and connecting with me, Alejandro. And a good cup of coffee has to be one of the elements of this time together. So, please, if you are a coffee drinker, as I am a coffee drinker, then cheers. Have a good cup of coffee. Enjoy it. Mm, great cup of coffee to begin an early Saturday morning. Um, how was your weekend so far? I know it's early, but for those of you who are early risers, what a great feeling it is to leave the bed and to start the day early. Starting the day early is something that sometimes I struggle a little bit, but but I make it a priority every single day. I mean, just to rise early, because um, Robin Sharma says that when most people are still in La La Land, I mean, enjoying their um, connection with their beds, with their pillows, um, early risers begin to conquer the day from an early hour. I mean, we we get a head start on everybody else, but it is what how we start our days is how we are going to live our days, and eventually is how we are going to end our days. We start the day with vitality, with energy, with sharp mental focus, and the rest of the day is going to follow accordingly. And so, if you uh, are not into the habit of getting up early, then I I encourage you. Of course, I cannot force you, but I encourage you to start the practice of getting up early. Okay, so today, another time of coffee, ideas, and connecting with me, Alejandro. And last week when I was sharing with you two little books that I recently purchased, um, which were on the topic of ikigai, is uh, a great Japanese word that it's it denotes. I mean, how the joy of living every day. I mean, what is your joy of living every day? But today, I want to talk to you a little bit about something else, and it's the topic is about a book that I also purchased with those Ikigai books, because I saw it and I said, I'm going to get it because I want to read about this U.S. Navy SEAL, retired now, Admiral William McRaven. And Admiral McRaven, back in May 17th of 2014, was privileged to give the commencement address at the graduating class from the University of Texas at Austin. And that commencement address was then part of a very globally viewed, I guess it was on YouTube, and with lots and lots and lots of views, because of the subject that the points that were covered during that commencement address. And let me start by saying this. If you want to change your life and maybe the world, start off by making your bed. Now let me repeat that. If you want to change your life and maybe the world, start off by making your bed. Now, if I am honest, if you're honest, really, and we'll reflect upon this statement, doesn't it sound a little bit of an odd statement? It did for me right at the beginning. Because it says, what is the connection? There has to be a connection, but what is the connection between changing your life, changing my life, and maybe even changing the world with making your bed in the morning? There has to be a connection. And so when I got this book and then I began reading it, I haven't finished reading the book. I just pretty much started the book. I want to read you a portion, not too long, but it says, the 10 lessons that I learned from Navy SEAL training. Admiral McRaven is a Navy SEAL, so he went through the very rigorous and harsh training to become a SEAL, a Navy SEAL. So he says, the 10 lessons that I learned from Navy SEAL training, which were the basis for my remarks at that commencement address, seemed to have a universal appeal. They were simple lessons. And this is the key. They were simple lessons. And let me remind you that greatness is hidden in simplicity. Greatness is hidden in simplicity. Greatness is not in great things. Greatness is found and hidden behind simple things. Simplicity is the key that will open the door to greater things, to greatness. So, they were simple lessons that deal with overcoming the trials of SEAL training, but the 10 lessons were equally important in dealing with the challenges of life, no matter who you are. So these 10 lessons, and the book obviously is divided into 10 chapters, and each chapter will explain or will expound upon a different lesson that Admiral McRaven learned through his SEAL training days. And I think that these lessons are very, very important as a reminder for us to really challenge us to live a better life, to live a life that gets closer to our individual potential. And so I truly believe that I thought at the beginning that I was going to do a one-time lesson on this. But I think that the more that I think about it, I'll probably do a series, and so every Saturday I will cover a new lesson from this book. And the first one is about making your bed. Making your bed. If you want to change the world, the Admiral says, start off by making your bed. You see, every person, I mean, most people, I would say, they have the notion that in order to be great, in order to have success, in order to have impact, in order to have influence, they have to do great things. And let me share with you that sometimes there's nothing wrong with doing great things or taking advantage of great opportunities that may come your way, but great opportunities, gargantuan opportunities, do not come every single day. They may come once in a very long while. So what are we going to do in between? And in between is those very small, sometimes even insignificant things that you may think, well, I mean, is that worth doing? Is that really worth doing? I get up in the morning, I am busy trying to do things, I have to get to work, I have to do, I mean, is it worth making my bed? And the answer is, of course, yes. It is very worth it to make your bed, to make my bed. As a matter of fact, I'm not saying this just to impress on you, but I do make my bed every morning. As soon as I get out of bed, the very first thing that I do, even before I go to the bathroom to wash my face or to brush my teeth, I make my bed. Because when I come and I see the bed made, it gives me a sense of fulfillment. It gives me a sense that I have, at least, if I don't do anything else during that day, at least I have done one thing. And it makes me feel good. Let me just read you a little bit more about the book. It says, as a young SEAL aboard the USS Grayback, a special operations submarine, I was berthed in sick bay. So Admiral McRaven, was sleeping in sick bay, not because he was sick, but because there were some beds there. So he was there, where the beds were stacked 4 high. So 1, 2, 3, 4 high. The salty old doctor who runs sick bay insisted that I make my rack every morning. He often remarked that if the beds were not made and the room was not clean, how could the sailors expect the best medical care? Now, as I later found out, this sentiment of cleanliness and order applied to every aspect of military life. Now, that is the connection between making a difference or changing your life or changing the world with making your bed. This is the connection. And the connection is in what the doctor said. He said, if the beds were not made and the room was not clean, how could the sailors expect the best medical care? You see, if we do not think, or if we think that making the bed or doing the dishes or cleaning a room or ordering a room or cleaning your office is something that is not worth paying attention to, then how are you going to do the greater work of perhaps if you're an author, I mean, sitting down and creating content, writing a book, developing content for a presentation, coaching someone, mentoring someone, making a difference in other people's lives. If you don't pay attention, if you don't think that little things are important, how are you mentally and from an awareness standpoint, how are you going to think that other things are important? And so this is the key. I truly believe that if we want to be on a road to success, on a road to expect great things to come our way, then we have to start by paying attention, and doing without complaining, without saying, well, I mean, that's not important. No, everything is important in their own context. So I want to leave you with this thought. And again, if you want to change your life and maybe change the world, and you think that those things are huge things to accomplish, if you are in the business of trying to accomplish great things in your life, begin by making your bed. Begin by doing the little things. And little things and little things and little things will compound into greater things. So that's what I have. So today we covered making your bed. That's the first lesson that we learned from Admiral McRaven as he went through SEAL training, and he is going through his book. He's going to share with me and with all of us 9 other lessons that are going to challenge us in living better lives. So thank you very much, for being with me, for sharing this moment with me in this episode of Coffee, Ideas, and Connecting with me, Alejandro. And I wish you a great rest of your day and weekend. And as always, I will remind you to be kind, to be passionate, to be well.